Welcome to Ari Garber's People and Personality Show on MeetAdvisors.com. Ari and his guest will be bringing you education and insanity shortly.
Hi, I'm Ari Garber, and welcome to People and Personality. I am joined today by a dear old friend. Hey, yes. Bart, how are you?
Just fine.
Good to see you. This is Bart Zehren, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to the show.
Thank you.
We're going to talk about something very exciting today, but before we get into the really exciting stuff, a little bit about yourself and your background.
Sure. I'm in marketing research, and that's what I've been doing for decades in many different capacities as a custom design marketing researcher, so that I've been with firms that provide that as a service, and done the consulting and done the project management for clients who needed market research to be done. But I've also been with corporate organizations where I started up and managed and organized a group or a team conducting marketing research using outside firms, such as the type that I have also been with.
So you've been on those two sides of market research, but you've also been on the third side.
That's right, academics.
There you go.
Yes, taught marketing research at the graduate level.
So you are the market research guru who I go to on market research topics. And when I called you, because I thought it would be interesting to have you talk about market research to the audience on Meet Advisors, you told me something that totally blew me away, because I've been a consumer of market research.
Right.
And it can get a little pricey to do well.
Yes, you bet.
Yeah, I mean, as with everything else, you pay for quality, and it can get up there. So you're announcing a new, I don't know if you call it product service, and so this is the public debut. So thank you for sharing that with Meet Advisors, the Meet Advisors audience.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about what you're doing here.
I'd be happy to. And this came to me just from quite a bit of my own experience, where I've worked with a lot of different firms, some of them quite big. But on the other hand, I've had an occasion to work with a group that was looking at a new venture and a new business operation and needed some market research to take to the venture capitalists to put a proposal before them, and so that would support a better funding decision. And so I've learned from all of my experience that there's really at the core a need for marketing research to reduce the risks and uncertainty in marketing decisions.
So I come at this in the past from the consulting side as a consumer, but now in my role as an entrepreneur, I understand if I'm about to pitch an investor that I need some validation for my concept. Right. If I'm even going to get to the point of pitching an investor, I probably want to validate my concept anyhow. Yes. But the thought of doing market research is daunting, because my only experience is in the $50,000 to $100,000.
Oh, no.
And you guys aren't there.
No, not with this.
So before we get into the pricing, we're going into this knowing you're making it accessible. Yep. How are you going about building out your market research service in accessible fashion? What does this look like?
Sure. Well, I've boiled down from what I've seen over many years to an essential core of questions that I think an entrepreneur who has his baby that he's been developing and wants to get into the marketplace, what he needs to know at a really important core level, so that he can make a better decision about how to finally bring it to market, what final form it should be in, and how the marketing mix should be developed to make the product more successful.
And what does that engagement look like? I call you up and I'm like, hey Bart, it's your old buddy Ari with another crazy crackpot cockamamie idea.
Right.
And I need somebody to tell me whether the drugs have really kicked in or I'm on to something. So when I call you up, how does this work? How does it work?
Sure. We talk about your idea, and we talk about the target market that you think is right for your idea.
Okay.
And for now, I'm thinking about consumers and consumer products, consumer services. Okay, and so we will talk about that. I'll consult with you like I consult with any client, big or small. But then I'll be able to take a very concise set of pinpointed, targeted questions that I know from experience are the ones that minimally you need to know the answers to. You need to know about your people that you're targeting it to. You need to know about their needs and wants. You need to know their interest in the product and why they feel that way. So what I'm going to give you is a set of answers across those kinds of questions.
So in the lexicon of sort of the modern 2015 startup world, what you're providing is market research in sort of the MVP, the minimum viable product category. You're answering the essential questions.
Yes.
Obviously, if I want to throw you $75,000, you'll answer a whole bunch of additional questions.
Of course.
But circling back to pricing, you're not in the $75,000.
No, under $10,000 is what I'm thinking.
Really?
Yes.
Under 10,000.
For a national look at consumer households, 1,000 consumer households will be tapped in this survey. It'll be done online, and they will answer these questions, and I can provide the full analysis.
And so I'm used to that little sign on the wall at my auto mechanics. You can have it good, you can have it cheap, you can have it quick.
Right.
You're hitting all three, but we haven't touched on timeline. Am I talking 6 months to figure this out?
No, not at all. Not at all. A matter of weeks. We'll need to talk about your particular application, and so we do need in those weeks there's some, front-end time just discussing your needs.
Sure.
But once we're ready to go, it's very quick.
Okay, so I was excited when you kind of told me about this on the phone and via email, and I was like, oh yeah, come talk about this on video. But I didn't realize it was this cheap and this quick, and I know you, so it is obviously that good. I'm shocked, so I am wishing you the best of luck with this. This is
great.
really exciting. A couple of last questions here, because I really, you're going on to my speed dial now at this point, I think, because I have other startup ideas here. But how do people get in touch with you?
My website is what I do in the sense of what I want to be, your research resource. So it's the word your, Y-O-U-R, research resource.com. Right, and that takes you to my firm, which is E-RM, E-Research for Marketing.
We're going to have to talk about your hyphenation, buddy.
Yes, I have a hyphenation problem.
And of course, people can reach you through the meatadvisors.com website.
Of course, and my phone is there.
So I've instituted a new thing recently because I never really thought about this in organized fashion, but now I'm in media, and with that comes a responsibility, but also a pleasure. And the pleasure is doing good, being a good citizen in my community. So I would like to ask you, Bart, which I am now asking every guest who comes on my show, because they all have such wildly different answers, and they're all so exciting and deserving. What is your favorite charity or philanthropy?
Okay, well that's interesting. And you know what, I would think of Feeding America when you ask me that, because they do such fundamentally important work and so valuable. And we all think when we're at a grocery store, what about all this extra food?
Yeah.
And so they are in the business of helping transmit it from, in produce for example, from the grocery stores to food banks while it's still fresh and still usable, viable and good for other people to. So it's distributed by the food banks, and Feeding America is important in making that work.
There are so many deserving causes and organizations out there, but if people don't have food, nothing else really does matter. So I really appreciate that.
Sure.
Bart, it is always good seeing you. In this case,
too.
it's not just good seeing you, but super exciting.
Well, good.
This is, our community really needs this. So
well, I'm happy to bring it along with me.
I am delighted you came here to talk about this. I'm delighted
Thanks,
to see you
Harry.
in person. It's been
pleasure.
several months.
It has. Good
Thank
to
you
see
for
you.
joining us.
Sure.
Once again, this has been People and Personality with Ari Garber. I was joined today by Bart Zehren of ERM. And we'll have all of his hyphenated URLs on the webpage. Thank you for joining us today. Have a great one.